you should be able to hear now. I hope. Hey, all right. Thank you for the lurk, Fanny. I said, oh, my camera's on. Yay. Wait. There we go. Hey, thank you for the lurk, Fanny. Greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is Michael Schwan. Today is Saturday, March 12th, 2023. At least it'll be March 12th for another hour, because it is late. It's quite late. Today's been a day, y'all. Today was daylight savings time, and let me tell you what, daylight savings time sucks. Sucks a lot. Because I was streaming with Athena last night, and then I was like, you know, it's all right. I'll keep going. It's fine. You know, it's only like 12:30. I don't have to be up until like 7:30. I'll get 7 hours of sleep. And then someone was like, daylight savings time, bro. And I was like, oh, my 7 hours turned into 6. And I'm not going to bed right now. That meant that my 6 hours turned into like 5.5, maybe. I was like, oh boy. So I got up and I went and had breakfast with my friend. And then I went and helped my mom around the house. And because she needed me to help her swap over the doors on a fridge. And I had to reseat a toilet. And then I moved a bed. And I did some like computer stuff for her. Yep. And then I went to the store and I came home. And I just kind of relaxed for a little bit. And then I took a shower. And then I hung out with Athena. And then I took a nap, which was very necessary. But at the same time, it's like, oh, well, I took a nap and now it's time for dinner. But we had dinner, and then at dinner was like 8. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll stream after dinner because then I'll have a nap and dinner. And then I got done with dinner and one of my friends was like, hey, can you hang out with me for a little bit? Because it's been a rough week. And I was like, yeah, I'll hang out with you for a little bit, buddy. And then buddy went to bed. And then I was like, all right. Finished setting up stream stuff, and now here we are. Here we are, all right, at the bushy-tailed dawn of 11 p.m. Be fine. So we do have it's production day. We're going to be recording some videos today. We have 7 videos to record for the full week. We are going to do 5 reactions. We're going to be reacting to Mile High Taxi, Mortal Sin, Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon, White Day 2, Peppa Pig World Adventures, and then we have 2 extra videos that we're going to record that'll be for next week. We're going to record, we're going to have a little chat about JRPGs, and then we're also going to record the review for Wanted Dead. My other reviews I've been recording off stream, but there's a very specific reason I am doing this one on stream, and we'll get there. We'll get there. So, let's see here. Let me go like this. All right. Yeah, Peppa Pig, Athena. You better get ready for that Peppa Pig. We're also going to be playing some stream renders on the side. No mind control, boys. No mind control, boys. I need to place barbarians. And I need to set battle plans. Put the barbarian there. Go like this. And then do this. Alrighty then. Everybody. Alright. So yeah, we're going to go straight into getting the recording stuff set up and ready. Also, let me know if anything goes wrong or weird. Athena was having issues with the setup last night. I've updated everything. I updated the graphics driver, updated some Windows stuff, which is why the audio was borked at the beginning of stream. Because anytime you update Windows, OBS breaks. Then I adjusted all of this stuff, and hopefully it's working now. I'll accept both of those, Athena. I feel like those birds are probably closely related. I don't know for certain, but I feel like they might be. They feel like similar style creatures. If you ever seen an owl pluck a rat out of the snow, it's kind of like a hawk. They're still birds of prey. Predatory birds. Predators. Yes. Anyway, all right, anyway. So let's go ahead and get rocking and started up in here, because we got a lot to do. We're going to do Mile High Taxi first. This actually released, like, now. But it's fine. So, as I'm getting these open and prepared and ready, if you are new here, welcome in. This is production day where we record a bunch of YouTube videos. The way that this works is that I'm going to read an introduction off of my head, and then we are going to check out the trailer together, and then after the trailer, we'll talk about what we saw and how we feel about it. And then when it feels like the conversation is starting to come to a close, or it's just time to go, I'll read an outro. We'll make faces. Face gets used in the thumbnail. Rinse and repeat. We do these live on stream because it makes for a more interactive and dynamic experience, both for myself as the content creator as well as people that'll be watching it later on YouTube. And it's just something fun to do. Why was that at 480p? Hang on. I might need to reopen these. Yeah, let's do it like that, shall we? It's also just something fun to do as a community. I definitely think that when you have more than one perspective, having a discussion about what you're watching, it makes for a more interesting discussion as well, which is another really important reason that we do it this way. Better you catch that now. It's true. It's true. All right, let me see. I need a title card. You know what? I'm just going to use this obnoxious looking one because that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. Look at that. It's gorgeous. All right. So one other thing that we can do also is go like this. What is this? Copy this. I've not seen this emote before. That's what I got when I typed in YT for YouTube Swan. All right, if you're a subscriber to the channel, you have access to this YouTube Swan. If you are not a subscriber to the channel but have BTTV, you have access to this YouTube Swan. You can use either of them to say hi to the new YouTube video. It just kind of moves chat along a little bit before we actually get started. And then take a drink of water, and then we're going to get started. It's from Copy Pasta. Oh, wow. Copy this, pasta that. Oh my god, that's amazing. It's kind of gross. I mean, just because it's amazing because it's an emote that visualizes a copy pasta, which is hilarious. All right, here we go. Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwan, and today we are checking out Mile High Taxi. This game actually released today on Steam, and the best way I could describe this based off of what little I saw is this is if you were Bruce Willis from The Fifth Element, but instead of going off and saving what did he really save, really? I mean, kind of the world, but in the way he kind of just stopped an evil corporate megalomaniac. Not the point. Instead, you just stayed a taxi driver. This is definitely, from what I saw on Twitter, because I saw a little clip of this on Twitter, I was like, I need to check that out. You are playing Crazy Taxi, but instead of a normal taxi, you're playing a hover cab a la Fifth Element Bruce Willis style. All right, so that's the general premise of what we're going on with. So we're just gonna, whoa, that got real small. We're gonna go over here and we're gonna start all the way back way at the beginning of August 4th, 2020, the early development teaser, and we got what, 6 trailers to make our way to the actual release date announcement trailer that was just put out a couple of months ago. Let me see if they actually have a launch trailer out yet. They do not have a launch trailer out, but that's okay. We're here. Mind you, very early footage. Development notes, no traffic or drop-off, reduced passenger density. Yeah. Mile High Taxi, 250 billion customers, can't be wrong. This is super indie. Sorry, I have a hangnail. What are your thoughts on speed lines? Some people like speed lines, the little circular lines of like, oh, I'm flying through the air, and some people hate them. Some people think they look dumb. I personally like speed lines. Fifth Element would not have been as good if he just stayed a driver. Yeah, probably not. Although, you know, one of the things that I always found disappointing with Fifth Element is that when the like army dudes come to draft him, one of the things that they mention is the list of things that he can pilot. Like they list up, like they have like a list of everything that he is licensed and qualified to drive, and it's like, you know, tanks and hovercraft and space planes and stuff. He basically doesn't drive anything in the movie at all, right? It's like, why did you make such a big deal of that if bro never drives anything? He doesn't fly anything. What kind of liability insurance would you need for an air taxi where your passengers are going, whoa, yeah! Like, if they just fall out, do you just go pick up the next fare? 250 billion customers, somebody has to have died by now, right? Is there liability insurance for planes? There is, yeah. I see it being similar. That's fair. It's fair. All right. Moving forward from August 2020 to, what is this, September 2020. Actually have some sound effects and stuff in there at this point. A little bit of traffic available now. Humanity is just never allowed to have flying cars. We're not. We can't be trusted. We can't even be trusted with cars that are grounded. Like, I'm watching this and watching, like, the flight lines and stuff, and I'm like, no. No. All right, so we're going to move to December of 2020 to the gameplay teaser. Lot more density in the world now, right? Lots of more details. The model is for somebody on a motorcycle. Super indie build. It's perfectly fine. I do kind of like the compass, though. On the left there, how it shows you how much of a tilt you got going on. It's kind of cool. Really short little peek there. Okay, so we're going to move to February of 2021. This is listed as a game trailer for the updated visuals and gameplay. Lot more density. Continues to get more density. The city also has a lot more texture to it. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. So it's a static city. That's perfectly fine. Have we had a taxi-style game? Wait, did they say exactly what I said? It's The Fifth Element meets Crazy Taxi. You right. It is. That's what I said. Have we had a procedurally generated, like, taxi game? Also, I never played a whole lot of Crazy Taxi, but you want to know what I did play a whole lot of? Simpsons Road Rage, which was just Crazy Taxi with Simpsons. All right. So this is a call for the beta that was from back in, what was this at this point? This was February 13th of a year ago, 2022.
I just want to let you know that after more than 2 years of work, Mile High Taxi will be starting its first round of public beta testing this coming Wednesday. That's February 16th, 2022 if you're watching this from the future.
Hi, it's me.
I'll admit that I'm pretty scared. This will be the first game I've ever released a beta, and the internet can be pretty hard on people sometimes.
It's true.
And so I want to say thanks to all of you, my YouTube subscribers and viewers. You've all offered great and very supportive comments in the comment sections of these videos, so thank you for that. You're awesome. Thanks for being awesome. Up until now, I'm the only one that's ever played the game. Well,
you're breathtaking.
My 5-year-old daughter. If you're interested in testing my game and are willing to provide constructive feedback and tell me about the problems that you have with it, please be sure to let me know. For now, there's only 10 Steam keys, but I'm not doing this on a first-come, first-served basis. So if you're seeing this video a bit late, contact me anyways. What I'm looking for is a variety of computer specs.
Gotta make sure shit works.
This beta is for Windows only, so my apologies to Mac and Linux users for now. Anyways,
developing for PC is a pain in the ass because of how many different types of hardware there is.
And as always, if you haven't already wishlisted Mile High Taxi on Steam, be sure to do that now. Thanks everybody, and we'll talk again soon.
Man, you're doing this on your own? This looks great if you're fucking solo, bro. And his 5-year-old daughter, yeah, she'd be 6 now. Looks like it actually controls pretty well. Get in! They just freaking leaping in. Oh my god. Freaking Titan slamming into the back of your taxi. Linux users nodding. Yeah, we know what we were doing making a Linux build. Yeah, it's true. That's how we all have to get in cars from now on. I'm sold. I mean, at this point, they probably have cybernetics, so if your legs don't work, we'll just put some jacks on your legs, and you'll still be able to do Titan slams into cars. You get no tip? Wow, screw you. That dude was busy doing jumping jacks. Hey! Hey! Wait for... I need a taxi! Man, can you imagine trying to hail a taxi when they're flying past you? Suck. Like, that would suck. Okay, so we're going from February 2022 to September of 2022 for the official game trailer.
I'm heading to Shonda, level 645. Shut up.
Kyle. Skylar. Emma.
You suck at driving. Oh, smashy hair.
So good at driving. It's fine, we made it. Missing an arm, but we made it. It's fine. This dude just flying jump kicked into the car. All right, we got one more. All right, so this is the release date announcement trailer. This is from January of 2023. So this is going to be the most recent look at the footage. coin collecting. Nice. Got to air drift, bro. Okay. Man. You know, there's not many games like this. And I don't mean like Fifth Element flying taxis. Just like, I know a whole lot of people that have a whole lot of like nostalgia for Crazy Taxi, but outside of like Crazy Taxi and The Simpsons Road Rage, I can't think of another taxi style game in general, right? So I don't know if maybe they just don't do that well or what it is. I know a lot of people that are really like wanting Simpsons Road Rage to be ported. I think Crazy Taxi actually did get ported at some point, but yeah, I don't know what it is, but I mean, by all means, maybe that's untapped space. So, you know, maybe that's a good thing for the developer of Mile High Taxi. It says it's coming March 13th. That is right now. So if that caught your attention, go check it out. It's available on Steam. So yeah, that's it. You know, it looks like a fun game. Yeah, like you said, Athena, it definitely looks like a fun game. Crazy Taxi and The Simpsons Road Rage, they don't got a whole lot of depth, and I don't expect them to. It's about the insanity and adding this third dimension of being able to fly around in this manner is not that this genre was like, oh man, I really wish something would revolutionize the arcade taxi genre. But it adds a breath of fresh air in a genre that's stagnated from lack of attention for 15 years. So I guess there's at least that. But yeah, so that's Mile High Taxi. Let me know what your thoughts are. Put them down in the comments below. If you've already played it, I'd love to know what your experience has been with it. Let me know. Not everyone got to play it, so it's cool to revitalize. Yeah, you get a new opportunity. And if you enjoy Mile High Taxi, then, you know, maybe go look at those other two games I mentioned. You'll probably have to emulate the Simpsons Road Rage, though. Crazy Taxi, I do think, is at least on Steam. So yeah, if you're playing this, then you'd have access to that. But check this out first, because Crazy Taxi, you're just driving a normal car with your wheels on the ground. Pshaw. We're gonna fly cars, okay? Because that's way cooler. Also, supporting indie devs is an awesome thing to do. So that I go play Mile High Taxi. Don't go play Crazy Taxi. After you beat Mile High Taxi, if you feel like you need more, then maybe go check out Crazy Taxi. Anywho, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. If you want to keep up the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream, because we do stream on Twitch, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. To go watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy. Yeah, Athena, did you like that? Pshaw. 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 Anyway, how we doing on the time on the battle? We got 10 minutes. That's enough time to get another reaction in here, because Peppa Pig is a short one. There's only 2 videos of Peppa Pig. Unless another one popped up. Let me see if another one popped up. Oh, there's 4 here. Wait, this looks... Those are the same. These videos were uploaded twice. That's fine. Short because she's a piglet, that's it. Make sure a new one didn't get added in. It did not. Let's get a new hat up in here. Yes, it is different than the one I was just wearing, I swear. It is different. But it keeps the vibe. Keeps the vibe. Keeps the fit in check. Newspaper looking dude. Newspaper looking ass. Oh shit. Oh shit. I can never financially recover from this. Obviously, that's why I'm wearing newspapers. Oh God. All right, put in your YouTube swats, your Pog swats, or whatever other emotes fit your fancy. Oh man. Oh shit. All right, here we go. Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwan, and today we're checking out Peppa Pig World Adventures. That's right, you thought we only cared about those rated M, aggressive, bloody gore games on here? Nah, dog, we care about what's coming out, and Peppa Pig World Adventures is coming out. Also, it's a rather light week, but that said, you know, why not? Let's see what's going on in the world of games that are rated Peggy 3. What kind of games are they showing to our children? I say that, and I've watched Peppa Pig, and Peppa Pig is absolutely delightful, so I don't actually, I'm just memeing here. I'm being contrarian for the sake of, like, trying to be entertaining. So, alas, anyway, this is a fiction interactive game is what it was tagged as, which tells me that it's probably kind of like if you ever played any of the kid-focused games back in like the late 90s. I remember playing like a point. You know how Dora the Explorer is like technically a video game? Like you can see like the mouse moving. Did you know you can play Dora the Explorer and it works exactly the way the movie does? Movie, shows, whatever. Anyway, I imagine that this probably functions similarly to when I was playing like Blue's Clues styles games, or not Carmen Sandiego. There was hard things in Carmen Sandiego. Anyway, we got two trailers. We got the announcement trailer and the gameplay trailer. So let's go ahead and check this out.
Welcome to my new video game. Peppa Pig World Adventures.
A lot of exciting adventures await.
Going underwater, y'all. Daddy Pig, you want to go in a submarine? I'll get you a submarine.
Let's have some fun together. It's going to be loads of fun.
New Peppa Pig characters. Gotta find out how that fits into the Peppa Pig canon.
Shall we play with the toy train?
Man, imagine having a father that can just casually take you on helicopter and submarine rides.
Is very far.
Yes, but this is a magic train.
Next stop, the moon.
That's even further.
I'll take a train to the moon. I'll absolutely take a train to the moon. You want to talk about, like, if they were able to make it like a smooth ride, that would be leisure. That, like, all right, we're going to take a train to the moon. It's going to take 3 days for the train to get there. Just sit back, relax. We got beds for you. Part of the vacation is the train ride to get there. All right, here's the gameplay trailer. In this economy, I mean, we're existing in Peppa Pig economy where we can take ferry rides and helicopter rides and submarine rides freely.
I want to go to New York. Hollywood.
Wait.
London. Paris. Ooh.
Peppa was not good at netting. Also, there was a bunch of carrots dropping from the ceiling on like the lunar moon display in New York. There was many questions to be had.
Italy.
That Hold on. So, I have a question. Because everywhere else, they were like, New York, you know, we got the Statue of Liberty. In London, we got Big Ben. In Paris, we got the Eiffel Tower. In Italy, they're like a small house with a grapevine and a pool. Italy. Could have went with Rome. Could have went with like the Colosseum. Germany, snows and Ferris wheels. Like, what are we gonna use to indicate that it's Germany? Ferris wheels. For all I know, Ferris wheels were first crafted in Germany.
Traveling the world is amazing. I can't wait for the next trip. Peppa Pig World Adventures.
Wish this was around when the kiddo was into Peppa Pig. I know, Athena. That would have been pretty excellent. So it's available on basically everything. It releases March 17th, which is probably like tomorrow in terms of when this video goes live. Yeah, it's a casual adventure interactive fiction exploration. Play in the bigger, wider world of Peppa Pig and bring your family into the story. Make pizza in Italy, walk on Hollywood Boulevard, climb the Eiffel Tower, and more on your world tour. You're not gonna go to anywhere special in Rome. We're just gonna send you to a pool in Italy. Create your own unique and dazzling family home and discover more characters, quests, and fun than ever before. Oh man. Although, you know, I don't mind you, this game is rated Peggy 3, right? I believe that was the rating at the beginning of the first trailer. Yeah, Peggy 3. So that means that this game has to have a simplicity level enough to it that a 3-year-old would be capable of playing it. So I imagine the actual gameplay, because there wasn't a whole lot that was shown in terms of like what you as the player do. You might click on stuff, but that's fine. It's fine. It's not targeted towards the hardcore gamer that needs those fast action reflexes. That's okay. Although, you know, if you want to go on a relaxing adventure with Peppa Pig and go check out the world with a really delightful, really wholesome family, you absolutely should probably check this out. Introduce kids to places outside their own house is so important, though. It is, and in a fun way that isn't just like pictures and paragraphs in a textbook. Because I feel like that's just so much of what our education is just a few small pictures and a bunch of paragraphs, and just hoping that that's a way that people will absorb information, and it's not. Daddy Pig is driving the taxi in the prior game review to afford all this. Yeah, right. No kidding. Like, are we ever going home? No, because we sold the house to go on this trip. We can't go home. We're vagrants now. Like, so get used to it. Anyway, so that's Peppa Pig World Adventures. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. If you want to keep up the conversation elsewhere, 2 great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream, because we do stream on Twitch, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. If you watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy. It's pretty good timing, huh? Battle just got ready? Oh, yeah. All right. Let me close that, close that, close that, close that. Yeah. Looks very pleasant, right, Athena? Looks super pleasant. Actually, we're going to go Stronghold to try and keep the tanks alive through those ranged units because, yeah, these things can be mean. Where in the world is Peppa Pig? All right, I'm going to go change shirts while this battle runs. I'll be right back. All right. We have 2 healers and 2 gladiators, either which can be yours for 420 channel points. Most kills going to stuttered screens. Most assists to reliable battles. Hey, reliable. Welcome in. Good to see you. Athena and reliable with the rewards. Now it's time for the boss. Thank you for that shout out, Athena. How has Nitro been going, reliable? I saw a whole bunch of people in there earlier, not in your stream specifically, but in Nitro stream racing, who were just not playing any Captain TV property, and I was very disappointed. Like, they were just sitting in there basically for drops as far as I can tell. Like, oh, there's a drops campaign going. I can probably farm viewers. I'm like, God dang, that's just, I'm like, it's disappointing. I'm just like, man, is that how it works for you? Is that how it works? Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have a conversation. Let me get a couple things open. We also need to go on to, can I do this? Yes. Okay. I want to be on this screen. Might be easier if I download this image to get it the size that I want. That's better. Okay. Okay. Let me get this into a position that I'm happy with. And let me grab. So we're. There we go. Got to make sure we have the right music as we get started, right? Because we have an important topic to talk about. So I really wanted to do a video on talking about the recent discussion and discourse surrounding the use of the term JRPG or Japanese role-playing game for that genre of video games. And you have some examples here on the screen. This is actually just like a collage image for that Nintendo made. And you got some examples of like what are classically considered JRPGs. Things like Chrono Cross, 13 Sentinel Triangle Strategy. You also have games in there like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy and stuff like that. And there's been a recent conversation about it, if you haven't heard at this point, which was about some of Japanese developers finding the coined term of the genre JRPG to be offensive, to be derogatory in a way. And you know, there's merit behind it, and we'll get into why that is in just a second. But this all came up because a handful of content creators were invited to Japan, flown to Japan by Square Enix to have a in-house look at Final Fantasy 16, which is super cool. Congratulations to those people. I've watched several of the videos of the people that got to be there and stuff like that. Final Fantasy 16 looks excellent. But one of the people that went, Ralph from Australia, also goes by the YouTube channel Skill Up. He got to interview one of the leads on the project, which is Yoshinori, no, not Katase, which is Yoshi P, who is the director of Final Fantasy 14 and is also the lead working on Final Fantasy 16. And he asked, you know, what are you hoping to see or achieve with Final Fantasy 16 within the JRPG genre? Because Yoshi P talked about how he wanted Final Fantasy to evolve essentially with Final Fantasy 16. And Yoshi P took a slight aside to, you know, just, he wasn't angry or like, you know, like upset with Ralph for asking the question, but he's like, you know, we don't normally call them JRPGs here because to us they're just RPGs, and RPGs was for so long a really negative term associated with the genre. And that caught Skill Up by surprise, because Skill Up, like myself and a very significant portion of other people, were like, but JRPGs is just a genre. It just lets you know like what it is you're getting into, and like I love JRPGs. I do. Like we got Final Fantasy VIII music playing right now, and JRPGs by all stretches of things are probably my favorite genre of games. Final Fantasy is something that is very, very near and dear to me and has very strongly shaped my life. But the question then came up of like, wait, why is it that Yoshi P felt that it was so negative? Well, I grabbed some of the footage here. Let me start with this Twitter video. This Twitter video, which I don't know if is originally edited by James or Solstice here on Twitter, but this Twitter video gives you, this is kind of like a supercut. Most of the offensive material is all from G4 TV and what was it, freaking X Attack or whatever the name of that series was that ran for a really long time. So here's some examples, okay? I have a couple others too.
You know, it's been very long that we have to do it.
Here's the one bad thing about Dragon Age 5, the blatant stereotyping. Several characters come across more as ethnic caricatures than real fleshed-out beings. Am I right, Sancho?
India, that billion-strong faux vegetarian tech support call-taking behemoth of a nation. Or the Chinese.
The blatant stereotyping.
International Sexy Lady Show. Starting in Japan.
Game titles, some are clever, some are stupid, and some don't make any damn sense.
Zatch Bell Mamoto Battles is one of those game titles.
Today we venture to the bottom of the anime bucket. Fighting dolls. This transvestite toys.
Pull Japanese RPGs together into one cliche of a game.
A game where androgynous men with pointy hair and scantily clad women battle evil mages to save big guy. Unfortunately, he's trapped in a Japanese RPG, but it's hardly any worse than the dozens of other Japanese RPGs that have come down the pike.
Japanese role-playing game. The very phrase conjures up images of legendary battles, majestic stories, and noble, virtuous heroes.
Greetings! I'm Cupo of the Orosorin.
Okay, so much for that.
Who will eat the sea urchins?
The Japanese?
It's the third and final entry in a series of long-winded, poorly named role-playing games.
Dragon Quest Joker. It's pretty much Square Enix's own version of a Pokemon game.
I would have thought by number 50 or whatever they would have given you speech instead of text. Oh, for God's sake, get to the friggin' point. Okay, well, that was a little more to the point than I would have liked. Listen, my anime friend, you know this is wrong, so what say you just don't do it? An ellipsis? What the hell is that supposed to mean? My God, I have never understood why you guys do that. How much time do players waste in their lifetimes clicking past stupid ellipses?
Don't you just love multiculturalism?
Yeah, so that's just some of it. That is just some of it. One of the ones that was referenced a lot is this particular review that X-Play did, which is part of the G4 TV brand.
Who will replace us? India, that billion-strong faux vegetarian tech support call-taking behemoth of a nation. or the Chinese.
Here's
But
this clip again.
certainly not Japan, because while they may be technologically advanced and financially powerful, they're already in decline. You want proof? Here's Baten Kaito's origins.
One of the few RPG refugees that made it to the GameCube's purple shores was Baten Kaito's Eternal Wings in the Lost Ocean. Lucky for all 27 of you people who bought it, there's now a prequel, Baten Kaito's Origins. Origins dumps you right in the middle of the gameplay without preamble. This shouldn't be a problem, seeing as how it's nearly identical to its predecessor.
We'll all be killed if we don't do something.
So do something! I'll write the story. Let me guess. There's probably a young hero with some sort of memory problem who's fighting a vastly overwhelming Evo.
By the way, this was on television.
It's too soon to reveal my hand.
The bow you're wearing really takes the edge off the evil mastermind thing. Cliché burden boy of action who will save us all is named Sagi.
This is kind of overdue, but I'm Sagi.
Rhymes with Saki. Saki! Which I
Not
could
how you
use a
pronounce
lot of
sake.
right now.
Sagi.
Saki! Baten Kaitos features voice acting of plenty of surprisingly good quality.
Show me your wings again.
All right, take a good look.
Does it count as sexual harassment if her wings were asking for it?
This had better not be another ploy to see my wings.
And apparently nothing says prequel like improved breast physics on the shopkeepers.
Sagi.
Sake! Origins uses the same painted background art style as the first Baten Kaitos. Many of the early attack cards use the same exact artwork. Yes, I said cards. Baten Kaitos still uses card battle combat. Every weapon, spell, sundry, ducat, novelty, or quest item is magically imbibed into cards called Magnus. You can trap the essence of anything you want, like the local town gossip, and meat fit for an emperor.
Boys like you are so hard to find.
Feels like my days as a congressional page all over again. You can chain the cards together to add maximum damage.
So this is all like still pretty
Lady Luck, that bitch.
what it
There
is.
are new tweaks to the card system, but the changes don't go deep enough to really make a difference.
Sagi.
Saki! Will you shut up about Sagi?
Sagi.
Saki! 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 Baten Kaitos Origin is an RPG for the GameCube. That about says it all. A 3. Saki! 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 Out of 5.
You may have won the day, but I assure you, I'll be back to settle the
So.
score.
That was the score. Now show a little wig, baby.
Oh, it's not over yet.
I think your alcoholism is starting to get in the way of your game reviews.
I don't drink because I need to drink. I drink because I like the taste. Because life is painful.
So was that video. Anyway, so having now watched those pieces and supercuts of the type of stuff that aired on G4 TV and X-Play, which was part of G4 TV, it was part of their like video game review section. I never saw that stuff, and also, like, even if I would have saw that stuff, like, G4 was really big back in, like, what, like 2002 through 2007? So, I mean, I wasn't terribly old at that point in time. We didn't have the channel that G4 was on, which is probably a good thing, like, geez. But yeah, so, like, if that's the type of... G4 was one of the largest pieces of media coverage for video games at the time. Video games have struggled to have any type of like major mainstream level of journalism or like professional appeal. And the part of it's probably because like video games are very often associated with children, even though some of the largest consumers of video games are like between the ages of like 22 and 36. But that's not the point. But so, you know, we don't have major outlets. Like IGN is still one of the largest gaming outlets ever. There are bigger ones in Japan because you have things like Famitsu and stuff like that over there that are pretty well respected reporting agencies. But like, what did we have? We had like G4 and Game Informer, and that was kind of it, right? And so if that was your but neither IGN nor Game Informer were on TV, right? And like GameSpot TV was only in GameStop TV is only available in GameStop. So the only like major media presence for video games was G4. And if that's the type of media coverage that you're seeing, yeah, I can totally understand where you would think that the phrase JRPG is being used to insult you. Because it is. boy, howdy is it. By the way, can we just, that whole shit was offensive as hell. Like, a whole bunch of it. Like, it was just awful. That's what people used to watch? Like, no wonder freaking gaming media television failed. Because that's what we were being given. It was like, that was completely and utterly crafted for, like, really offensive 15-year-old boys that thought that they were edgy by being racist, and none of that was true. They were also about the whole if you don't like it, don't watch it when they were giving criticism. That's also true. Yeah, and like, you know, criticism's a really good thing. You don't always, the person receiving the criticism doesn't always have to like address it, but your answer isn't just like, oh, fuck you, bro. Anyway, so yeah, I can understand where you'd see that as offensive. Also, there's been a bunch of people that I've been seeing on, you know, the social medias that have been like, JRPG isn't derogatory or offensive. They need to just get over it. And like, by the way, you don't get to decide that for them. You don't get to decide for them what they take as an insult, okay? That's not how that works. Just because you don't mean for it to be offensive doesn't mean that it isn't offensive to them. That's not how it works, all right? Just let me clarify that for you. So if Yoshi P says that JRPG is offensive, then it's offensive to Yoshi P. End of story. Now, there have been some other Japanese devs that have come out and be like, no, we take a lot of pride in the phrase in the genre that is JRPGs. Bandai Namco is pretty much like not a sister company to Square Enix by any means, but they are, in my immediate mind, the second largest creator of JRPGs. And so there was some Bandai Namco devs that were like, no, we take pride in the JRPGs that we make. And I think that that's perfectly fine. But we don't get to decide that JRPG as a genre is offensive or not. And the problem also stems in just how hard it is to define video game genres as well. Like the action-adventure genre. What is that? What games exist within the action-adventure genre? Do you want to know a couple of games that exist? Like, it's stuff literally like The Legend of Zelda, God of War. Like, sure, they're kind of similar, but are you going to say that those are the same? Are you going to say that those are similar? You know what else is action-adventure? A ton of other games. And even if we look into a more specific genre, like, we'll go into RPGs. First, RPG, way too wide. That's why there are breakdowns. Mario, again, another action-adventure game. Some people will call Mario games, depending on the one that you're playing, they'll call them action platformers. But like, Final Fantasy 16 is going to be an action RPG. But because it's made by Square Enix and it's coming out of Japan, it's still being called an action JRPG. But they don't call, like, Devil May Cry an action JRPG. But that's because Devil May Cry gets a very unique moniker of being a spectacle fighter, a character action fighter, rather than an action RPG. And in a way, I mean, they literally have the Devil May Cry director. Devil May Cry 5's director is one of the leads that is working on Final Fantasy 16. It's going to be closer to Devil May Cry 5 than it's going to be to most other action RPGs. But you want to know what else counts as like an action RPG? Diablo. Diablo is technically listed as an action RPG. Diablo and Devil May Cry are nowhere close to one another whatsoever at all. Are they both role-playing games? Yeah, sure, but they're not the same game. But that's also why, like, when I talk about Diablo, I call Diablo and Diablo-style games, I call them isometric action RPGs. Does that make the mouth a little bit full? Yeah, sure, but it gives you a much clearer idea of what I'm talking about. Because other action RPGs are like Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Final Fantasy VII Remake plays very different from Diablo, and it's going to play very different from Final Fantasy 15, which plays very different from Forspoken, which is going to play very different from Final Fantasy 16, and so on. Scarlet Nexus is an action RPG, and it's going to play very, very different from all of those. And then, like, Elden Ring and Dark Souls are technically action RPGs, but because they have their own like nuance in there, that's where the genre Souls-like came from, which I hate. I hate calling them Souls-likes. I don't like calling anything like roguelikes. I don't like that either. I feel like that is a bad terminology because it relies so heavily on you understanding what a different game is. Telling someone that it's a Souls-like and them not knowing what Dark Souls is means that they have no idea what kind of game you're talking about until they know, right? And like I've been calling them Soulsians, which is still just not a good term, and I dislike that. So, 99% of the time, they're all thrown in action. Well, I mean, even on top of that, there's a problem with action-adventure versus action. Those are two different categories at the Game Awards. God of War won Action-Adventure Game of the Year, and Bayonetta 3 won Action Game of the Year. So it's like, you have this even more narrower division in there. It's kind of like the Oscars having one of the Oscar categories for the Academy Awards is comedy/musical. Those are not the same thing at all. You're going to tell me that like Liar Liar and Les Mis should go in the same category? You're going to put Hamilton and like freaking Big Daddy in the same category? No, those are not the same whatsoever at all. And so the same issues exist in video games, right? A role-playing game is like all character games, technically. You take on a role. Yes, classification is bad. ISO RPG could work though. And sure, if you wanted to shorten isometric RPG down to ISO RPG, that works. And that's like CRPGs, computer RPG, and that's talking about things like Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights, Divinity Original Sin. Those are the Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Those are all called CRPGs. They're no longer limited to computers, but that's where they were for a long time. And that just lets you know that that's what that is. They're kind of like ISO RPGs, but they're not ISO RPGs. ISO action RPGs, ISO ARPG. See, here's where it starts to get into like that weird nexus of strings. So then it's like, okay, well, what do you call JRPGs if you're not calling them JRPG? And there's actually some pretty decent options out there, right? Like, for instance, like Persona and Final Fantasy X, okay? Like if we compare like Persona 4, Final Fantasy X, they came out not actually that close to one another, but whatever. With that in mind, welcome in, Roman Edge. I'm gonna let that roll off real quick. With that in mind, like Final Fantasy X and Persona, sure, they're both JRPGs, but at the same time, they feel so different. And that's because Persona has the social sim elements. It's got such a visual novel energy in it and to it. And so it's like, are those both technically JRPGs? Yeah, sure, they're both JRPGs with the way that we classify it right now. But there's also like, I actually asked a friend who is taking issue with like, if there's Japanese devs that don't like that we call it JRPGs, why did my music stop? If there's JRPG devs that don't like that we call it, speaking of Persona, that's the song that just came on, that don't like that we call it JRPGs, then we should call it something else. Thank you so much, Roman Edge. I appreciate it. Get some rest. Then, like, what do we call them instead? And we came up with some options, and it's things like narrative-driven RPGs, story-based RPGs. We actually already use one, and it's turn-based RPGs. Because when Final Fantasy moved from being a turn-based RPG to the action RPGs that they are now, we started to make that distinction of when it moved away from turn-based and when it moved into action RPGs. And so we already do that in a way. But for the most part, when I think of JRPGs, I normally think of something close to turn-based, not always, like active time battles, or even like Final Fantasy VII has turn-based elements in it, while having a like grand adventure anime style theme to it. Not always is it like anime style necessarily, but it's in that relative vein of being kind of with a cartoony element, has that kind of like anime style and design to it. Because like Tales of Arise is definitely an action game, but it is also very easy to classify it as a JRPG. It's got anime characters, anime tropes. It's got this grandiose storyline with crazy things happening in it, right? Things that you don't see even in like more grounded Western RPGs, which we don't even call things Western RPGs anymore. So I don't actually know where I'm going with this as a whole, but I think it's an important conversation to have. But it's a conversation that has to like live, and it has to continue to be had. Because it's not like, if you just go, no, I disagree with Yoshi P. He shouldn't be offended that G4 TV was assholes back in 2004. No, you don't get to say that. Sorry. After they made that, pointed that out, I was like, I definitely remember being into JRPGs in like middle school and high school, and there were the fucking Call of Duty bros that were like, you like that anime weeb bullshit? And no matter what it was, if they heard JRPGs, they just automatically turned their brains turned off, because they just knew, like, it's like, you know, if you don't like them, that's fine, but it definitely just got slotted alongside that. And those same people probably really would like Final Fantasy 16 because it is a like a high fantasy medieval looking style game with really gritty looking effects in it and stuff like that. Like, it still has very slight anime features in like the character designs, the faces and stuff, but otherwise, like, you could have told me that that was made by a Western studio and I probably would have believed you, right? Like, because it's got such a Western feel to it. And that's where the difficulty comes in. There's still some people like that, and it's similar with anime too. Yep, they just automatically turn their brain off. There's no way I could like it because anime, no matter what, is terrible. And then there are people that were shown stuff like, you know, you could go with like younger options like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, or they were shown things that were like, I know somebody, oh God, I know somebody that their initial recommendation, if somebody has not watched an anime, they recommend them fucking Fooly Cooly. That is the first thing they show people. And I'm like, that is the worst thing to show someone who has not watched anime. You don't even, if somebody's only a casual anime watcher, you don't have them watch Fooly Cooly, okay? That is some of the weirdest and most wild crap ever. Don't show people Fooly Cooly unless you think that they are specifically somebody who would appreciate and enjoy Fooly Cooly ever. But if you took some of those people that don't like anime and had them watch like Vinland Saga, they would probably freaking love Vinland Saga, right? These are the same people that enjoy Teen Titans. And like Teen Titans, I know it was made by Western studios. It's an anime, okay? Teen Titans is an anime. So is freaking Avatar: The Last Airbender. Those are animes, all right? It does not matter if they were not made in Japan. I do not feel like it has to come from Japan. Anime just is a style. And I think that's where how a lot of people feel about JRPGs as well, is that JRPGs don't necessarily have to come from Japan. They are a style. Trying to fight with the internet tonight? I will fight with the internet. I am loud and I am very opinionated. So yeah, I don't know what the answer is. Do I like the option of like calling like extra genres in there? Yeah, I do. It's like music, right? Like, you can call something house music, but there's 47 different types of house music that exist within that genre. And they just get more and more and more and more specific, right? And really, from what I can immediately think of, JRPG is the only, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, is the only like racially charged genre that exists within video games. There's lots of like racial type music that exists, right? Like, people just straight up call, you know, if I say, oh, that's Mexican music, that's Hispanic music, you know, your mind immediately thinks of a specific type of music. J-pop, K-pop, right? Like, you know, German grunge, you know, immediately your brain just fills with that. But, you know, some people might not like K-pop or J-pop or Hispanic music or anything like that. And I'm sure there are people that are out there that use them in a negative fashion because they don't like them or because they're racist. But with JRPGs, we just watched not too long ago just how charged that phrase was and how aggressively it was used to downplay games. Even, I don't care if the game is bad or not, all right? If you thought the game was bad, whatever. But the game is not bad simply because it's a JRPG, all right? If you don't like JRPGs, maybe you shouldn't be playing or reviewing them because you're just going to have this really heavy predetermined bias against it. So, blah. Show them Fist of the North Star or Ninja Scroll. Akira. I don't normally recommend Akira either. It's not the worst option, but I don't think it's the best one either. But yeah, so the problem is that this won't change unless larger powers that be change it, right? People like IGN, Kotaku, Gematsu, Famitsu, larger organizations, Game Informer, you know, like they have to, like Game Informer is actually still around, by the way. If you didn't know, you can still actually get Game Informer. You can get digital Game Informer, and you can even actually still get physical copies of the Game Informer magazine. Anyway, yeah, like as much as I'll be like, as much as I could be, you know, say like, yeah, okay, I'll try to figure out something else to refer to JRPGs with, right? While I am a YouTuber and I technically have a platform, my platform is the size of my pinky nail. Like, I'm not changing a whole lot on my own, but like I can try, right? And that's kind of the point of this video is like, let's bring up the issue and let's talk about it and let's see how other people feel about it and let's move forward in what it is. Do we need to start just referring to turn-based RPGs as turn-based RPGs and not just saying that they're JRPGs? Do we need to refer to Persona not even as a JRPG or as a turn-based RPG? Does it need to be a, you know, a VNTB RPG, a visual novel style turn-based RPG? Is that a lot to say? Yes, but does it actually give you a lot better idea of what the game is than just calling it a JRPG? Yeah, it really does. That's why, like I was talking about Diablo with calling them isometric action RPGs. Gives you a much, much better idea of what you're going to be playing. And we already get a lot of words and phrases stapled together onto there, you know? You got things like isometric action MMORPG for things like Lost Ark and stuff like that. We just, if the game fits more genres, tag them on there. Does it make it a big word soup? Yeah, but it actually makes it easier to define what the game is and helps people decide if it's something they're going to be interested in. Blanket terms do work, but they're not actually that effective at communicating an idea, especially because they are such a wide umbrella that they're casting a net over. And that's one of the problems with RPG in general, because role-playing games are so vast and so wide now. I don't have the answer, but I think the closest thing we have is to just doing our best to try and be more specific about it, because it removes the racially charged nature of calling something a Japanese RPG, and doing so will allow us to actually be more accurate in what we're talking about when we refer to specific games, because even the games that you see on the screen right now, there are distinct differences across all of these, because you have things like Rune Factory 5, which has farming elements in it, versus Chrono Cross, which is a more traditional turn-based RPG, versus 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, which is actually more of a visual novel that is tied with pseudo-like tactical RTS style elements in it. These are all very, very distinctly different games. Triangle Strategy is a tactical turn-based RPG along the lines of like Fire Emblem and XCOM. So there's such significant difference just in these games that are on the screen right now. So let's try to be better, and let's try to be more descriptive in what we're saying, because unfortunately the people that had the power before us, they made this not something that we should use. And the most that we can try to do is just try to be better in ourselves and with others moving forward. But that's really all I have to say. I've been rambling for a while. If you watched this whole video, thank you a lot for watching it. Thank you to Roman for coming in. Thank you to those that were in the chat that contributed to the conversation. I appreciate all of you a lot. Let me know what your thoughts are. Put them down in the comments below. If you want to keep up the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. We recorded this live on Twitch because we do stream on Twitch, and I'd love to see you there. And if you did enjoy this video, maybe leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. Do watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy. Alrighty then. That's taken care of. Let's run another battle, y'all. Go over here. Thank you so much for giving that shout out to Roman Edge. While we run this battle, I will give my normal raid message out. One, welcome in, Roman. I know you already probably dipped out to go to bed, but thank you all the same for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. My name is Schwan. I'm a hyper variety streamer. I currently stream 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. I like to talk, and I'd love to talk some more if you want to talk with me. So come in, check the vibe, see if you like it. If you do, maybe drop a follow, and I'll catch you in a future stream. If not, I totally understand. Not everyone's energy is for everybody. So if you're not matching my vibe, I get it. I totally understand. And to Roman, as you already did, as well as to anyone that came with you, if you need to go for any reason, you need to go to bed, you need to get some food, you got someone else you want to watch, you got a game you want to play, you just need to get away from the screens for a while. If you need to raid and run for any reason, I completely understand. Please do not hesitate to do so. But thank you to Roman and everyone that had joined along with them. I know you had a good time over there with Roman. This is Sunday, so we're recording YouTube videos today, many of which are interactive. We have one that we'll be recording here shortly that isn't interactive. But we're going to just keep on rolling. We got 3 gladiators and 2 shinobis going to Fanny in reliable battles. I actually don't need the skin chest anymore. I could use some tokens, though. Alrighty then. Let's see. I can probably place another barbarian now, yeah? Yeah. Alright. Place your units, everybody. Now we're actually going to get started on some more of the reactions. I don't need that one anymore. Let me get this set up and ready, and we'll do another reaction. I need to find a title card. This will work. All right. That conversation has been had. That'll go up on the YouTube on Saturday. Put in your YouTube swans, your Pog swans, your Re-swans, or whatever other emote fits your fancy. And let's get started. All right. Greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is Michael Schwan, and today we are checking out Mortal Sin. Now, Mortal Sin is a first-person hack and slash dungeon crawler, which I will just let you know, if you've been one of the people that have been struck by Dark and Darker lately, you're initially going to get a very similar vibe as we go through these. But I will say that we're going to watch this game's development from beginning to today, and there is a very, very distinct visual shift partway through development. So while initially you're going to be like, yeah, this kind of does look and feel like Dark and Darker, it definitely changes. Also, with this is not going to be a type of like survival game the way that Dark and Darker is, where it's got those kind of Tarkov-like elements. It is a action roguelike dungeon crawler. It is single player, so you're not going to be competing with other players or anything like that. But it's the most immediate and most like in recent memory idea that I could give you of what we're looking at. So we're going to start all the way back in September 16th of 2020, when one of the very first examples of the game was brought out on their official YouTube channel. So we're going to start there. We got about 7 trailers to chew through to see where this came from and where it has gotten to before it's released today. In terms of when this video probably went out, it's probably out right now. So here we go. a little bit faster than Dark and Darker that I use as an example, right? Oh, man. What was that? Oh, you're about to die, buddy. Oh, no. Oh, it's okay. You got a little bit of health back. Ooh. Some ice magic up in here. Is this in VR? I'll need to check on the Steam page. I don't know, though. Man, I love seeing these super indie projects, right? See what, like, 1 or 2 people have been, like, managing to make happen in shit like, Unity or Unreal Engine or whatever. Look at that beastie. Oh my god. Oh! Ah, he wants a hug. Ow. Trying to stay away from it, like, dodge, get in there, do a couple hits, and then get out of there. Good job, you got it. All right. So let me double check on that VR support. I do not see anything about VR. It does have full controller support, though. All right, so now we're going to move from, what was this, September? We're going to move to October. So jumping forward a month for the trailer that's listed as the goriest action RPG of all time. I wish it didn't swim so much when fighting. You mean the camera moving back and forth? Yeah. Well, remember, this is really early footage. I can tell you that the final product, it looks different. They got like a block move in there too. They've moved the UI around at this point. Health has been moved from the top left corner down to the bottom left. They don't have a stamina bar anymore either. There's only health and mana at this juncture. There is gold, which is interesting. It's a roguelike. Hellfire of Power. They got a spell. Okay. I wonder if there are shops in the dungeon, or if the amount of gold that you take out determines, like, additional unlocks. Oh, jeez. Okay, we have some different weapons now. We have an axe and a spear. That first video, they only had the sword the whole time. Gold used rather than XP? Yeah, when you die, you get out of the dungeon, you unlock stuff with the amount of gold that you have. The hit stop on the blood is actually a pretty cool effect. Okay, so we now are moving into December of 2020, moving forward a couple of months at a time. Oh, there's music now. The camera's already less floaty, just with a couple months of work. The sword is moving across the screen instead of the camera following it. Enemies are now exploding into pieces. They have like a whirlwind of blades around them. This dungeon is not the place that I want to enter, but there's loot! Oh my god, there's so much blood and gore, you just can't tell what anything is anymore. Oh my lord. Okay, so this next trailer, this is where we see the shift. It's going to be very noticeable as just a heads up. So this is another month later. This is now going from December 2020 to January 2021. So here is where we see a major shift for Mortal Sin. Yeah, this is the graphic novel trailer. I saw this. I had to double check when I was grabbing these trailers. I didn't watch these ahead of time, but as I was grabbing the trailers for the game, I was like, I went back to find the original like reveal trailer, and I was like, this does not look like the screenshots that I saw. The art style went a completely different direction. It has right now, I think, just like a filter on it. It's like a graphic novel style filter. It does evolve even further, though, as we'll see as we go through these. Maybe they had to think about how they were going to be different. Jesus Christ, Atomic Heart, you need to calm down. That freaking game. Okay, so this is the Steam demo trailer. This is a couple months forward again. This is March 21st of 2021. So it's no longer just black and white. Now you have the people, like both yourself and the enemies are blue, blood is red. We got some yellow effects in there. Environments are still white. Remember, this is still a little over a year ago, or around 2 years ago. Ooh, that's a rough looking effect. See, this is like a shop almost, but it doesn't cost anything. So I'm still thinking that money is probably your progression path. Oh, man. I feel like enemies are exploding even more than before now. Very short. Very short. Okay. So now we're going to jump forward to December 3rd, 2021. So we're getting 9 more months of progress. To live in this realm is to suffer. Some say death is a release from suffering. All right, so we have a little more color in the environment, but not for you, struggler. The environment's a little easier to see now. They got like a mix of color, and they reworked some of the shadow work so that the details of the environment were a little bit clearer. Looks like it's running better too. Well, you can spend money there. You can craft at the anvil, and it just generates items, it looks like. Okay, so there is at least a spot that you spend money in a run. See health potions and mana potions now. Looks like there is 2 types of mana, though. Looks like there's a mana bar on the weapon and then a mana bar on a spell. Maybe you can empty out a weapon's power. Probably makes you change out weapons and spells more often. That's freaky looking. Oh, hell no! Game over. Fuck. That's where that trailer ends. Of course it freaking does. Oh my god. All right. And then, so now we're going to move from December 3rd, 2021 to August 2024. So this would have been around like Gamescom time. So another 8 months. You have retained your sense of self, and that is a gift to you. Hammers and axes and spears and swords and knives. They have like a pentagram, not a pentagram, a friggin' cross rotating around them. It almost has a retro feel to it, yeah. But who are you really, if not a part of me? I don't want to be a part of you. Gross. It's probably not possible, but it'd be interesting if there was a setting in the game that let you turn off the graphic novel filter so that instead it looked like the original assets. Just because I can see this being difficult for some people to look at. I mean, the other one was also difficult to look at in its own way, like depending on how much you're able to see through the mess. But accessibility options are good. Okay, and then we move to 2 weeks ago, February 22nd, 2023. In this world, there is only one certainty, death. It is death. Holy shit! You see those swords? Those were huge! We got dual wielding now at this point. Look at those things! But for you, there's only suffering. Because you're not allowed to die. Like a big spirit mace. Like some sickles. Death is only the beginning. Early access. Okay, so it's not even actually done yet, but it does release here very, very shortly. So yeah, Dungeon Crawler RPG action roguelike. Not currently does it have a VR support. Although I think with its current visual style, VR support might be rough. I think when it looked back like when it looked like this, VR support might have been something that was slightly possible, but I don't know about with this this graphic novel style that it has rockin'. If this, like I said, if this was able to be turned off, then maybe it could be. But at this point, I'm not sure. Hey, welcome in, Future Ranger. But it does look, wow, look at this crap. Look at this scary ass stuff where you're looking at these giant, horrible, evil monsters. Yeah. Anyway, that said, it is very, very distinct. It is super distinct in so many ways. I do think there is definitely some accessibility issues to this, but I also understand that as a really small indie dev, that accessibility can be trial and troublesome and difficult because every new feature, every piece of accessibility is expensive and something that you have to develop and add in. And I understand that for indie developers, that can be too large of a hurdle and obstacle to be able to overcome. But that's Mortal Sin. That looks super cool. Definitely is super unique in a lot of ways. I would like to check it out if so possible, but time is always an issue, isn't it? So yeah, hack and slash roguelike dungeon crawler RPG. Let me know if you are going to be checking it out. If you're seeing this video like a day or two after it went live, so that would mean that the game is actually already out and accessible. If you've already played it, let me know how it is. What were your thoughts? Put all of that down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to keep up the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream because we stream on Twitch, and I'd love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. If you watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy. All right. How much time we got on the battle? Let's get some music in here. $11. Is that enough time? Let's see. I don't remember how many are in the other ones. If I win change shirts, we could probably do Bayonetta. Okay. I'll be right back. Hang on, everybody. Hello, Kaldris. Welcome in. Okay. Put in your YouTube swans, your Pog swans, your Re-swans. Thought this was one of those watching the last stream links. Nope. We're here. Daylight saving time doing my day all kinds of weird and funny. I took nap at like 7 p.m. All right. Put in your Pog swans, your Re-swans, or whatever other emote fits your fancy. We'll do this one. But I took Monday through Wednesday off, so I have so much PTO. I put in a whole bunch of PTO for my whole year because I have a ton of PTO saved up. And so, like, we actually took some time off to play the game that we're about to check out the trailers for. So, all right. Here we go. Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwan, and today we are checking out Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. This game was such a surprise to me because when they announced Bayonetta Origins, I was like, no way, because there was already a question initially of, after the reception of Bayonetta 3, if we were going to see more Bayonetta at all. And thankfully, Bayonetta 3 sold really, really well and has already been confirmed by Platinum Games that they are working on the next Bayonetta game. And then they also just like shadow announced, like that thing, that this game was not only being worked on, but also was coming out very, very soon. It was shown off, I think, at the Game Awards. So it was announced in December and is releasing in March. So yeah, it's actually releasing March 17th at the very end of this week. So that's cool. It's crazy. So we're going to check it out. We're going to check out all the trailers that are currently available for it. There might be a launch trailer that we just don't have yet because I am recording this a few days before the game actually releases. Let me just, oh, that's not what I want to do. Let me just double check to make sure one didn't get slapped in here as we were getting set up. Nope. Okay. So we will go back to the original announcement trailer. Yeah, December 8th at the Game Awards. And let's take a proper look at Bayonetta Origins. Yeah, everyone was like, Bayonetta 3? Is this going to be some DLC? No. It is not DLC. Not actual gameplay footage. Nope, because that's from a different game. Bayonetta 2, Bayonetta 1, and even before Bayonetta, there was Bayonetta Origins. I mean, it's footage from a game, but not this one. True. Big mood. True facts.
I can't
turn back now.
Cereza, you must never enter that forest. You would soon become a snack for one of the fairies who live there.
How could a dank old forest be that scary?
A dank old forest.
Must have been a rabbit or something.
It's so cute.
Did I manage to summon a demon that has now possessed Cheshire?
This looks awesome. I love the art direction for it.
Don't worry, I'll send you home.
Go to Avalon Forest. The White Wolf will guide you.
I'm going to be a witch. I need to be
Before she became Bayonetta, she was Cereza.
I will give you the power to
I never would have expected to see a child hero for Bayonetta. No kidding, right? I love that it was on like a storybook.
Cereza and the Lost Demon.
That was lovely in my monitors, hearing that laugh around the backside of my head. Reminds me of Child of Light a little. Yeah, it does. I love Child of Light though. That was a fantastic game. Okay, so that was from the Game Awards. Now we're going to move forward to the trailer that was put off at the Nintendo Direct back on February 8th.
Once upon a time, there was a witch. And
I loved the innocence of this and just how Alice it is. Yeah, that's another good comparison.
Experience Bayonetta's origins as a young witch named Cereza.
That's just her name.
To rescue her imprisoned mother, she ventures deep into the Avalon Forest ruled by fairies.
I'm going to that forest. I'm going to become a witch and save Mummy.
There, she'll encounter the otherworldly demon Cheshire. You'll control both witch and demon at the same time. Harness Cereza's magic and Cheshire's ferocity to travel through this mysterious and dangerous forest.
Fun.
They'll need
Thanks,
to
Cheshire.
work together in battle as well.
Cheshire, let's go!
Cereza cannot attack and can only support Cheshire by magically binding enemies. Hold
Fun.
an enemy in place while Cheshire attacks. Or stop an aggressive one to focus on another. Strategically use each character's abilities to win battles.
Wow, that was cool. Good job, Demon Kitty.
The duo will gain strength as they continue their journey. By obtaining more powers, new paths can be opened, and battles can be more easily swayed in your favor. Can Cereza and Cheshire find their happily ever after?
This looks awesome.
Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon prowls onto the Nintendo Switch system March 17th. Pre-orders are available.
You know, it's not quite exactly there, but with some of the way that these mechanics work, I was in a friend of the channel stream recently, and they were talking about how they really wanted to see someone do a new top-down 2D Zelda-style game, and this isn't quite that, but there are some very, very similar elements in it, both in terms of how it plays and just the way that the general layout is, and how you're using like your new power-ups to be able to maneuver around the map and stuff like that, to be able to open up new sections and stuff. It's not quite there, but it's very close. Okay, so this is the story trailer. This just came out a few days ago, March 8th, actually. So we'll go ahead and play this as well. Feel this will do really well as a Switch game. I mean, Bayonetta, despite like, while my qualms with it still exist of it being held back by the Switch, it played pretty damn well. Yeah, Zeta, yeah. This will do well on the Switch. It's definitely more in line with what it can do.
Piece of cake.
Chores neglected, and I find my apprentice enjoying her beauty sleep.
Oh my god.
At this rate, I'll never even become a witch. Morgana is always dangerous this and stay away that. How could a dank old forest be that scary a place anyway?
Full of monsters.
So Cereza threw caution and her teacher's warnings to the wind
and set out towards Avalon Forest. Little did she know that what lay waiting in those dark woods would change her fate forever.
Let's go, Cheshire.
You must never enter that forest. You would soon become a snack for one of the fairies who live there.
Please walk this time. Who are you? Did I manage to summon a demon that has now possessed Cheshire?
Sure did.
Send me back. Send me back. The demon demanded.
Don't worry, I'll send you home.
I love that
Once
there's a
figure out
storyteller.
how. I'm Cereza. What's your name?
Oh my god.
I have no name, replied the demon curtly.
May I call you Cheshire? That's the name of the stuffed cat you decided to borrow after all.
The white wolf will guide you. Stop running and tell us how to get that power already.
Wait! What are you doing?
My friends. I want to go help them.
How's a weakling like you gonna save anyone?
The storybook approach of this is delightful.
I'm still going to help those wisps. You just sit back and watch.
I am trapped deep in the heart of this forest by a powerful curse.
Who's gonna be the appetizer? And who shall I save for dessert?
Who did they get to be the storyteller? They're fantastic.
I'm going to burst the seam.
So I have finally found you, Cereza.
Morgana?
This forest belongs to the fairies. If you are able to wield that demon, your chances of survival will increase greatly.
Don't forget who summoned you here. Why don't you just behave like a proper demon and do as I say?
If I don't make it back, the last thing I do in this world will be tearing you limb from limb.
We will not allow you to wake up the child from his slumber.
You pathetic weakling.
Your attacks didn't make so much as a dent in that monster's armor.
Oh, that was cool. It was like a Fey dragon.
I'm coming, Mummy. Don't leave me again.
A mother's warm embrace. You will feel it again.
Who's ready to cry?
Not friends to be cuddled.
Oh, Cheshire. What has he gotten himself into now?
Inferno's fires must be fed. If you would not return, then send that vile girl in your stead.
Cheshire? What's wrong?
This game looks larger than I was
Cereza
expecting.
and the lost demon.
Like, by that story trailer, this game feels longer than I was expecting. Is there anything else on the end here? It's like a piece of cute artwork that I'm going to let play because I want to see it.
What are you doing?
Eating a snack. Oh, man. So, that is Bayonetta Origin, Cereza and the Lost Demon. A surprise, but not an unwelcome one, because, you know, as much as I love Bayonetta, and I've played all 3 games, and I enjoyed all of them immensely, it is a very mature game. Like, Bayonetta is a very mature character, and this is such a departure. Not a departure, because it's not like it's leaving Bayonetta behind by any stretch. It's just such a different direction for it. Because it is so cutesy and storybooky and stuff like that. But at the same time, it is rated T for teen. I did notice that when we played this first one here, that it wasn't finished being rated yet, and it was teen to mature, which means that at some point there were elements in this cute storybook game that were worthy of getting an M rating, which is something to be said. I mean, it is still Bayonetta, right? It may be all cutesy and stuff, but Bayonetta is still Bayonetta, and they don't hold a lot of punches back. And I have a feeling we're going to see some loss in some pretty gruesome ways. It does still involve demons, Athena. You are correct, and I think that loss is going to be something powerful and painful. So yeah, that's Bayonetta Origins: Cereza and the Lost Demon. It releases March 17th, exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. Thank you, Nintendo, by the way, for saving Bayonetta as a franchise. I know a lot of people complain that Bayonetta is now a Nintendo property, essentially, but For those of you that don't know, if it was not for Nintendo, we never would have gotten Bayonetta 2 or 3 or this. It would have been Bayonetta 1, and that's where it would have stopped. So, regardless of how unfortunate it is that like the Nintendo Switch can't let Bayonetta 3 live up to its true potential, I would rather have Bayonetta 3 as a Switch exclusive than not have Bayonetta 3, and same to be said for Bayonetta 2. Oh yeah, and also like what Prinny just said, thank you for letting Bayonetta be in Smash. Because this is a really awesome franchise with a really awesome character, and I like to see that it's still going and growing. And speaking of myself and Bayonetta, we will be playing Bayonetta Origins on stream. We're going to be playing all the way through it. We'll be starting that on the following Tuesday that it releases. That's the 21st. I couldn't actually remember what day of the week it was. And we'll be playing all the way through it. And then once I do get all the way through it, the full playthrough will be up on the Vods channel, and we'll be doing a actual proper video game review of it as well. That'll be on this channel. So there's a couple things to look forward to. That looks excellent. I have a feeling it's going to have some emotional heartstrings that I probably need to try and prepare myself for, because it does involve Bayonetta's mom and loss and desperation, and those are just things that I'm getting emotional thinking about it. Holy shit. All right. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to be playing that on stream. I already got my copy on its way, so be sure to look forward to that. But let me know what your thoughts are. Put them down in the comments below. It doesn't even necessarily have to be about Bayonetta Origins. If you just got something that you want to share, you are literally talking about a feeling emotion. You're right, Athena. Not the point. Don't gotta be calling me out like that. You're so loud. Anyway, if you want to share your thoughts on Bayonetta as a franchise as well, I'd love to hear it. Let's have a conversation. Put all that down in the comments below. If you want to keep the conversation elsewhere, though, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream, because we stream on Twitch, and I'd love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. If you watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy. All right, we got a battle to run. All right, what do we have left also? I'll take a look at that while we run this battle. Do 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 do. We have 2 things left. Okay. Be right back. Hey, start that battle. Oh god, we're gonna die? Oh yeah, we're gonna die. Oh, maybe not. Wait, what am I doing putting these on? Come on, you can do it! You can do it, Stuttered! Get him! Nice. It's alright. It all worked out. GG! Alright, we got 3 warriors. 3 tanks going to Athena. Yeah, we're just gonna hug this bottom side. Hug the bottom, everybody. All right, place your units, everybody. Place your units. All right, so this next one, nope, not that screen. This screen, turn that back on. All right, so this next one, we're gonna record the raw footage for our review of Wanted Dead. I was going to do this off stream, but I didn't do it off stream. And also with the way that I'm doing this one, on stream is fine. On stream is fine. So, all right, here we go. All right, let's record this. Let's record it. All right, here we go. Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwan, and this is your one-take review of Wanted Dead. Now, I'm just going to let you know, when I normally do these reviews, the way that the one-take review works is I have a script. The script is not actually lined out word for word. I would never actually be able to do this in one take if I did so. Instead, it's normally a bunch of bullet points. And then I use those bullet points to construct my review and then, like, give me my topics and my ideas and stuff like that going forward. But I don't have the bullet points this time because, much like how it feels like the developers made this game, I'm just going to make it all up as I go, okay? I didn't build a script. I got like 6 bullet points. You know what they are? They're the categories of the stuff that I normally talk about. And this is the disclaimer category, okay? Because nobody gave me a disclaimer when I went into this game, because this game makes so little freaking sense whatsoever at all. It's gonna be a ride, so let's go ahead and get started. So the premise of this game, the premise actually is pretty solid, okay? In that Hong Kong got returned to China, an alternate history started to play out, and then we had like a development of cybernetics, so you have people with like robot arms, you got this kind of cyberpunk dystopian future. There was like some culture war stuff going on over people that use cybernetics, and then they started to make synthetics, so that they were just essentially robot people, and then robot people started to take over labor, and then there was like, oh, do we need to pay robot people? No, they're just robots. But, you know, if you have robot people doing everyone's jobs, the people aren't making money, and then you got a bunch of dystopian shit going on. And then, because there was a bunch of wars that happened, of course, you got a bunch of people that participated in those wars. And there was people that committed horrible, heinous acts during those wars. So you have these horrible war criminals that have just done unspeakable things that were put in solitary confinement, maximum security prisons, life in jail, threw away the key, no chance of parole. And then somebody got the idea of like, hey, what if we hired those people to be police officers? And it's like, instead of all cops are bastards, we're going with all cops are war criminals? All right, let's go. I guess so. Why not? So you're playing as Lieutenant Hannah Stone, who is a former war criminal, like I said, that was in maximum security, solitary isolation, no chance of parole, that has now been enlisted into the zombie unit of the Hong Kong Special Forces Police Department. Welcome to whatever year it is supposed to be in this game, all right? Now, we watched a lot of the trailers for this game. We checked, this game actually had a lot of marketing for it. Lots of trailers went out, and they were all over the place, but they were pretty cool. They gave us a slight idea of what's going on here. They showed off some characters. They showed off some background. And here's the problem that I have is that, like, none of that made it into the game. I don't understand, because there was trailers dedicated to some of these side characters. There was like a 4-minute long full anime music video dedicated to the waitress, okay, whose name is Cinnamon. And in the actual game, she says like 3 sentences total, and we see her 1.5 times, maybe. And I was like, you dedicated a whole lot of marketing resources to a character that we never get to see or talk about or talk to or really interact with. They also dedicated a whole bunch of marketing to the gunsmith character, who in the game they just call Gunsmith. Her name is Vivian, and it's like she's a former Olympic medalist, and then she went on to be a celebrity chef, and then she went on to be the gunsmith for the Hong Kong Special Forces Police Department. You know how I know this? Because it was in the trailer. You want to know how much of that was in the game? If it was in the game, I don't know where to find it. It might have been written somewhere, maybe in a logbook or somebody's profile, but they sure never talk about it, mention it, none of it. There is none of that when it comes to the story or the character interactions. It's just, yo, hey, it's my job to fix your gun. I'm gonna fix your gun. The story, the premise of the story is not bad, but the presentation of the story is wild and makes no sense, okay? Because I just gave you this like pretty solid foundation, right, of like what we're doing, how we're doing it. But then you get done with your first mission and you go back and you're like, oh man, my gun felt kind of weird. I better go take it to Gunsmith. which makes perfect sense, right? Like, that makes sense. We just got done with a mission. The gun felt weird. I'm going to go take it to the gunsmith. And I was like, all right, cool. They're going to give me a proper tutorial on the weapon customization stuff, because there's some light weapon modding in the game, which is fine. And instead of anything involving that whatsoever, I got a 9-minute long, I might be exaggerating the length, but it felt like 10 minutes, okay? Like a 10-minute long cutscene of the characters fully choreographed, animated, walking around. This isn't characters Bethesda style standing there with their mouths moving up and down while they don't move at all. No, they're moving around, and she's like doing complicated workings on the gun, and Lieutenant Hannah Stone's walking around and talking and like touching her head as they're having a conversation. You want to know how they're conversation about? The whole conversation, the whole time, is about dating people. That's it. It's like, yo, Lieutenant Stone, are you still seeing that dude Marvin? And Lieutenant Stone's like, I don't know. He comes over to the house every now and again. We watch movies, but I don't really know what's going on. Well, what about Seamus, who's up in research and development on the 4th floor? Oh, I don't know. He seems kind of, timid to ask me out. I think if he asked, I'd probably say yes. This is a whole cutscene, which, mind you, I will give you that, like, that's a normal conversation to have around people at work, right? Like, you took the gun to the gunsmith is doing their gunsmith job, and while they're doing their gunsmith job, while you're waiting for the work to be done, you're having this normal ass conversation. That makes sense in the real world, but this is one of like only 6 conversations that happens in the entire game. There is not a whole lot of story in this game. This game is short. You can play through this entire game in about 5 to 10 hours, depending on how much the game kicks your ass. And a lot of that is combat. The actual story part, that's like 20% of the story is them having a conversation about who they're dating. Do we ever see Marvin? No. Do we ever see Seamus? No. We never even see a picture of them. They're never mentioned again, but we had this long, drawn-out cutscene dedicated to talking about Lieutenant Hannah Stone's former dating profile, and I don't know why. And then immediately after that, we're gonna go have ramen with the guys, right? Which, like, if you want to have wacky minigames like Yakuza style, fine. Whatever. I don't care. That's perfectly fine. I like the Yakuza games. They're cool. They're funny. But that said, the Yakuza games are longer, and they give me a lot of time to still engage with, like, the story stuff of all of it, right? No, we go to frickin' ramen, and we have, like, a 10-minute long conversation with Herzog about how often he thinks of naked men. I am not joking. The only thing this dude talks about is naked men. He literally mentions it, like, 3 times, which in a game where something only gets mentioned a total of 12 times across all the topics, 3 is way too many. But I'm not joking. And then we played a ramen minigame, and then immediately after that, we're stuck in an elevator with Herzog, who's talking about how one of his favorite jokes is about 2 dudes having naked gay sex with one another. And I'm like, what are we doing? And then the actual plot picks back up, and then we go on another mission as the Special Forces Police Department, where we are the zombie unit, and we go and kill a whole bunch of dudes. And that's kind of like, if that felt chaotic and hectic and you're like, whoa, he's just going, I don't know what he's saying anymore. That's how this game feels, bruv. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand. It's like everyone had an idea and they just said, we'll do as many of them that we can fit in our development time with the budget we have, but we're not actually going to decide which ones get added. We're just going to put them all on little pieces of paper and put the pieces of paper into a mason jar and shake up the mason jar, and whatever things get pulled out, all right, we're going to do a full anime music video trailer of She Works Hard for the Money, and that's going to be dedicated to the, hold on, let me grab the character jar. That's going to be dedicated to the waitress. Okay, cool. Somebody go make that. Got it. All right. What else are we going to do? Let's talk about Hannah Stone's dating profile. Yeah, that'll make sense. Let's do that. Okay. You guys go work on animating that. How much time and money do we have left? Those 2 things already took half of the time and money. I guess we better make a game now. It makes so little sense. It makes so little sense, and it hurts me. it hurts me a lot. And we haven't even talked about actually playing the game. We're just talking about the game presenting itself to you. There are literally like a dozen trailers for this game, like a dozen of them. And I have watched them all, and they're all pretty good. I enjoyed a lot of the marketing, which actually had me like decently hyped for this game. And you ever felt like you've been lied to? Because I've been lied to, bruv. It hurts. I'm like, I always thought this game was going to be cool. And it is kind of cool, but I'm also kind of scared about it. It's about having the right expectations, okay? Have you ever watched a movie trailer and you're just like, man, that movie's gonna be awful. I'm so excited to go see it. That was me with Hardcore Henry. I was like, you know what I'm going to get with Hardcore Henry? I'm going to go in, I'm going to see 89 minutes of run-gun explosions with a hair-thin storyline that barely makes sense, and it's going to end like in the weirdest way, and then I'm going to walk out of that movie theater. That's exactly what happened, and I was like, that movie, subjectively speaking, 10 out of 10, because I had the right expectations going into it. I went into this with the wrong expectations. I should have been having Hardcore Henry expectations, not expectations that I was going to get something along the lines of like Yakuza or Bayonetta or something like that, right? Of where you're like, okay, we're going in some interesting directions, but you know what? I'm still on board. And I'm still kind of on board. But this game has issues, all right? And it's not even about the ones that I rambled about. So let's actually talk about the gameplay a little bit. So it is a Ninja Gaiden, like, hack and slashy style game where, like, you're really trying, like, it's almost trying to be a Soulsian, but it's not. But it wants to kind of be like Ninja Gaiden. You have like really rigid options in terms of how you can fight, what you can tackle. You have limited ammunition in your guns, and it's like really janky because like you can kind of attack, but it also feels like your attacks are like really rigid in the animations. It doesn't feel like it flows very well, but then it'll like break a little bit and it'll start to flow really well, and then it'll break again and it just kind of like crunks to a halt. Like if you have a car that a couple of the gears are going out, it's like, oh, I gotta crunch through first and second until I can throw it into third, and I got into third, and third gear is still in strut, so we're actually able to roll now. Oh shit, we gotta stop. That's how this game feels when you're playing it. You can attack stuff with your sword. You can shoot it with your pistol. There's like counters, which are nice because like I like parrying attacks. But some of the enemies, you parry them and they're just like wide open. Other ones, you parry them and they're like, coming again, bitch. And so they just keep swinging on you. There are attacks that'll take out 50, 60, 75% of your HP. Other stuff takes out like 5%. And it's not like, oh, I ate a rocket launcher to the face. I took 75%. It's like, no. He cut me in the leg and I almost died. He hit me with a shuriken and I almost died. That dude just shot me 27 times and I didn't feel it. It's so weird how just imbalanced the game is. We got through the whole thing and like there was a couple of moments where I was like, ooh, we're struggling. But guess what? All right. I mentioned that this game is short, right? This game is short. It's like if you're just running through it, it's like 5 hours. If you're like going at a healthy pace like I did, it took me, I think, like 9 hours to get through the whole game. There are 4 arenas in this game. There is the initial office building, there is the nightclub, there is the station, and there are the streets. That's it. You got 4 levels through the whole game. I was expecting a lot more, okay? Like I wasn't expecting this game to be long, but I also wasn't expecting it to be 4 hours short, 4 levels total of progression to go through. And when it's that short, and when the combat is as limited as it is, progression feels really limited. It does have an issue that I have with video games in general, which is they lock a lot of your play toys behind the skill tree in terms of like counter options and combo options and attack options, stuff like that. It feels like the full capacity and power of the combat is actually locked in the skill tree. And once you completely open up that skill tree, the combat does feel a lot better. And it sucks that it's locked away like that. But at the same time, it doesn't actually get to the point where it's good, all right? So the gameplay is like there, but there's so little to it that you don't actually get enough time to be like, to tell if it's truly good or truly bad. A lot of the enemies are the same, just with different color armor on, and there's not a huge distinction between them. Some of the enemies take way way too much damage. Like, with a game that has such a aggressive play style in it, especially because some enemies deal you so much damage, there are enemies that will just eat, I'm not joking, hundreds of bullets, and you can just keep hacking at them, and they're like, I'm still coming, bitch. Don't let me touch you, because if you do, I'm gonna take away your entire life bar. And you're like, I'm playing on normal, right? I put it on the regular difficulty, and they're like, yeah, we also got a version called hard and a version called Japanese hard for after you beat the game if you want it to be nice and difficult. And I'm like, I don't think I do. I don't think I do. This game isn't fun enough, and it's so jank that I don't feel like making it harder is somehow going to make it better. That said, all right. Visuals, this game actually looks pretty decent, all right? I'm not going to give it, it's not exactly winning any awards for, like, looking great. Why do I have a life bar anyways? No kidding. But yeah, it doesn't look bad. Like, the initial trailers looked real rough. It looked real rough, but the final product looks pretty good. The character models are fun. The animations are good. Your character has like a dynamic blood system going on, not like inside their body. I mean, kind of your blood system, your circular system's kind of dynamic, but that's not the point of the conversation. Like, as you're slicing and dicing through enemies, depending on how enemies die, you can get blood splashed all over you. And the blood looks actually fantastic, okay? There are a couple of times where you get a close-up of your characters having a conversation midway through battle, and they just got this blood slathered across them, and it looks shiny and wet, and you're like, man, you are a bloody mess. Looks really good. Visually, this game looks really good. It's also got like really good indicators for what attacks you can counter, what attacks you can't counter, what attacks need a special counter and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of decent stuff going on visually with the game. The presentation is good. The environments look pretty good. The environments are definitely designed around the game, around the combat and how the combat functions, rather than necessarily feeling like natural environments. But I don't mind a video game wanting to be a video game, okay? That's perfectly fine. Presentation in terms of the actual what our eyes are receiving holds up pretty well. Now, audio and dialogue. Audio, all right? So, audio is actually pretty good, okay? There's going to be a lot of people that hate on the voice actors. There's a lot of very, very novice amateur voice work going on here. It's fine. When everything else that we just talked about is what it is, the last thing you're concerned about is the voice acting not being up to scratch. You could have hired the best voice actors in the entire industry, and it would not have made this game somehow magically not be the weird spaghetti soup made with lemonade that it is, okay? If that didn't make sense, neither does this game, all right? Dialogue's weird, got great music, the sound effects in it are actually pretty darn good, sound design is good. Visually, and the way the game looks, the way the game sounds, really solid presentation. But actually, the way the game plays and the storyline of what you're playing through, what in the world is happening? Just what is happening? I really feel like these developers should have been told no at a couple points in time. Should we have a 9-minute conversation about Lieutenant Hannah Stone's dating profile? Are we going to meet the people she's dating? No. Does this matter towards the story, the plot, or character development? No. Then no! Don't put them in the game! Like, honestly, like, freaking Herzog's joke about two naked guys, like, going at it in bed together, it was short enough and random enough, like, as they're on their way to their mission, that I was like, whatever. But the really long-winded conversation about naked dudes at the ramen shop, didn't need that. That could have been cut. That time and energy and money could have been put towards anything else. Anything else. I don't care what it is. Put it towards the logo. Like, I don't care. But there was so much wasted time and energy on stuff that just did not develop the characters, did not develop the story, had nothing to do with the plot, and certainly wasn't helping the gameplay in any way, that this game, I'm like, what even is it? I can't believe it got shipped in this state. And it's not like it got shipped in a state where, like, oh man, it's a buggy mess that crashes every 37 seconds and I can't return it because of, it took 4 hours before the game actually started crashing and the game is, major stutter struggle. I played this game on Steam. It ran great. It ran fantastic. I think I actually did crash at one point, but whatever, all right? I'm willing to forgive one crash here and there. But no, ran great. I barely had any issues with it whatsoever. So there was definitely talent going on here. It just wasn't in the writing / story / like direction department, because somebody should have told them no to some of these things. The characters are cool, but the only reason I know almost anything about any of these characters is because I watched all of the trailers. The enemies are actually, the major enemies, like the ones that have names, are actually pretty cool. Your character designer, freaking phenomenal. I love a lot of the art direction in this game. But the game is not good, okay? I can't say it's bad either, but it is definitely not good. It has so many issues, and I'm sure that there's probably somebody out there that absolutely loves it, and if you do, I'm so happy for you. I hope this game is everything that you wanted. I don't even know what I wanted this game to be, but it's certainly not necessarily this. I feel like half this game is missing, and I feel like the half is missing is because they put so much time towards things that were meaningless and excessive and just served no functional purpose. It's like you had that team that went off to make that conversation about the freaking dating profile, and they showed up with their finished product, and they went, oh shit, I forgot that we told you guys to make that. That's a fucking waste. But we have to ship this game in 5 months, and we don't have anything else, so yeah, let's throw it in there. And so they just hobbled it all together with duct tape, hope, and wires and said, here's a game, y'all. Here's the other biggest problem, okay? One other thing that makes this game a problem. So, I just went on this big, long rant about how weird and wacky and wild and random this game is, okay? 4.5 hours if you just kind of run right through it. 9 hours if you're taking your time, really, like, you know, just if you have a couple of struggle moments. I did. There was like 2 parts where I was like, man, I'm getting my ass beat, bro. That I'm not giving it shit for beating my ass. It's meant to be a difficult game. That's perfectly fine. I don't mind having my ass beat, okay? But it's not very long, all right? It's got all of these issues, like kind of janky combat, limited progression, weird story, like really amateur voice acting. The game is $60. Like, you know, if this game was $30, I'd be like, you know, it's fucking weird, but for $30, it's pretty fucking good. No, it's $60. They're saying that this is worth the same amount of money as God of War. And I'm like, I haven't even played the new God of War, but I know for a fact that it is better than this. Now, mind you, they spent a lot more money and time, I hope anyway, on developing God of War than they did Wanted Dead. But when you have that type of cost associated, when you're looking at $60, $70 games, you have to justify that price tag. And Wanted Dead does not justify its price tag outside of the therapy that I'm going to need after I get done with this review. So, to bring it all to a close, this game is weird. This game does not make sense. I can't say I didn't have fun with it because I did, but I also can tell you that it is not a good game in almost any way. It plays really bad. The story makes no sense whatsoever. Half of the entire story is actually on their YouTube channel in trailers, and it looks good, it sounds good. I cannot recommend it. If you like what the game looks like, if you're like, I don't know, I kind of like the idea of a high difficulty hack and slashy action game, wait for it to go on sale. I'm sure it's going to go on sale. It better go on sale because I don't know how anyone besides someone like me bought it at $60, and I know that it is reviewing very poorly, and I am just going to slap mine onto the pile because that's as much as I have to say about it. You want another number? 5 out of 10. Like, I can't give it more than that, which I will say, giving this game a 5 out of 10 makes me reconsider the last 5 out of 10 that I gave, because if I say that this game and the last game that I gave a 5 out of 10 are equivalent, that's a lie. This game's 5 out of 10 makes that other 5 out of 10 look like a 3 out of 10. So fuck that other game. Wanted Dead. There you go. Let me know what your thoughts are if you played it. I hope you had fun. Like I said, I did have fun, but this game is... Whew, it's something Let me know what your thoughts are. Put them down in the comments below. We do have additional reviews coming up. We're going to be reviewing Moon Scars next, presuming that I'm actually able to get a script and everything set up and ready for it. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to catch that. If you enjoyed this review, as wacky and wild as it was, please leave it a like. And if you do watch one of the other reviews or videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy. Whew. All right, how we doing on time, y'all? Yes, you can unlock Neko-chan easy mode. I don't know how easy it makes it. 4 minutes on the battle. All right, let's get the next reaction video up and ready. The last one. I hope you all enjoyed that. That game was... It was a game. Let's close it out with a scary game, everybody. Let's close it out with something spoopy. I left you many thoughts. You did. Let me go look at them. All right, let's go up there. Put your hands in the air, everyone. Wanted Dead, the wildest ride. Wow, yeah. Wow, so much going on there. If you told me all that and I didn't know it was a real thing, I wouldn't have believed you. I wouldn't have believed me either. I thought you were just making shit up. The game felt highly influenced by the Yakuza series. It did, but it didn't take the right things from the Yakuza series. Like, they wanted so much more in the game, but they had to slash 90% of it. Maybe that's true. Maybe they did. I don't know. It didn't flow as well as it could. It flowed terribly. The only thing that flowed well was the blood. It definitely was random, but also showed that not everything is sensational. Well, you know, that's the thing, is that, like, it had such a strong foundation, and then it just couldn't get the walls up. It was also weird, the two girls talking about dudes. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, like I said in the review, like, it's like that's a fine conversation to have, like, between coworkers, but it did not make sense in the context of the game whatsoever. Herzog was not good at socializing. Herzog was a problem. Maybe members of the team weren't talking during development. Yeah, maybe not. Like, you know, like that it really did feel like they just sent people off to work on stuff, and then they came back and they just, like, tried to force the puzzle pieces to go together, and it didn't necessarily work. Me with Shrek, this is going to be awful. Leaving the movie. That was amazing. Why was I lied to and told it was bad? Yeah. It can happen with opposite expectations too. You know, I didn't expect the game to be great, but I didn't expect it to be what it ended up being either. Japanese hard just feels weird to have as a difficulty. Well, I think it's because the developers were former Ninja Gaiden developers, and Ninja Gaiden is one of the games that were, like, known for being, like, a really hard, like, game. And so I imagine that Japanese hard is them, like, trying to, like, make it all Ninja Gaiden-y, but yeah, it does kind of feel a little strange. That is a very cute emote, Athena. It's a very cute emote. But yeah, that game. Whew. I don't regret playing it in the slightest. I do regret playing Gungrave Gore. I do not regret playing Wanted Dead. But I don't know what we should place. Killing Field, maybe, for chompers. Like, Wanted Dead's a game that, like, if it went on, like, a 66% sale where the game's, like, $20, and it's, like, the right type of game for you, like, sure, go ahead, play it. Like, check your expectations at the door of just how fucking weird the game's gonna be when you get to it. But, like, I can't recommend Gungrave Gore under any circumstances. There is nobody should play that game ever. Ever. Gungrave Gore, I think you could watch the movie online, like if somebody does a supercut of all the cutscenes. The cutscenes are beautiful and fun, so I think that that's worth your time, but playing the game, absolutely not. All right, one vampire going to Athena, who had most kills. This is going to be last. This battle will not get ran on stream. These are fucking ranged units, aren't they? They are ranged units. Jerks. How would you feel about a Wanted Dead supercut? No. No. Like, the closest thing you could get that might work is if somebody also tried to implement everything from the trailers into the supercut, but it would still just not work. Because there's nowhere, like, all the stuff about Cinnamon, the waitress, there's nowhere to put it. They're at the diner after the first mission, and then they basically never go back that I immediately remember. No, they do go back, but Cinnamon, like, doesn't actually say or do anything. So it's not like, I don't think that there's enough content to make a hyper edited version of it that would make more sense, because stuff's just missing. All right, last one, everybody, and then we'll find somebody to raid, and then I will go edit the Mile High Taxi video, and I'll take out the trash, and then I'll go to bed. And thankfully, I don't have to take the kid to school tomorrow because it's spring break, so I don't have to wake up early enough to drive her to crap. And I showered at like 6 p.m. today because daylight savings time doesn't make sense, so I'm not even going to shower first thing in the morning. I'll shower at like lunchtime or something, so I can like make up the late night stream by not having to do certain things in the morning. Yeah. All right, anyway, here we go. Put in your YouTube swans, your Pog swans, your Ree swans, or whatever other emote fits your fancy, whether it's for my channel, your channel, or anyone's else's. Just a way to say hi to the new video. All right, here we go. Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwan, and today we are checking out White Day 2, the flower that tells lies. Now, we're going to be checking out a little bit more than just White Day 2, okay? Because there's not a whole lot of marketing about White Day 2. Now, this game actually already came out. It released back on February 15th. It was kind of shadow dropped, and I really wanted to check it out, but we just never got around to actually being able to check it out because it was shadow dropped in such a way that we just didn't have an opportunity for it. So also, White Day 2, it's only episode 1 that's out. They haven't released the entire game at this point. Now, White Day released, I think actually back in like 2012, but it didn't make it into the West until 2017. And we're going to check out some of the marketing because there's much more of it for White Day. And I know that they do kind of feed into one another. But White Day and White Day 2, they're both survival horror experiences. So I'll just leave that how it is, and then we'll go over here and we'll actually start checking out these games. Now, we're going to work our way from the back to the present. So this is actually the first official trailer for White Day back in November of 2015. So let's get started.
난 8번 김성아야. 너는?
시간에 학교엔 왜 왔어?
Janitor's gonna fucking kill you. Ghost is gonna fucking kill you. The frickin' coach is gonna fucking kill you. Wow, there are a lot of horrible things in this school. I just wanted to bring some chocolates to some pretty girls in my school. Nope. Nope. No, 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 no. All right, let's keep going. So we're going to go from November 2015, jumping forward 2 years to June of 2017. This is the teaser trailer for White Day, a Labyrinth-named school.
Rated teen.
It's only 30 seconds.
So why did you come to school at this hour?
I wanted to put chocolates into somebody's locker.
So many hidden secrets.
Why are all of you at this school at 10 p.m.? Oh, you know, killing people.
Hear something just now?
Holy shit. Oh, God. Homeschooling probably sounded like an option as soon as the gate closed behind him. If that gate slammed closed that way, you better believe I'm finding a way to climb over. All right, here's a launch trailer for White Day, a Labyrinth-named school. Is it first person? Oh, it is. That's awful.
What are you doing here at this hour?
Who are you?
He's a new transfer student.
Why is there so many serial killers at this school? Oh, thank God that... Oh, Jesus. I was going to say, thank God the freaking janitor has a bum leg. Ah, no. Hell no. 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 Let me out of this fucking school. Oh, no. No. Out now. So much. No, I want to believe the janitorial staffs are exorcists and keep the baddies at bay. Nope, he's not. Nope, he's just a serial killer too. Okay, so now we're going to go to about a year ago, March of 2022. Oh, it's actually a year ago exactly. And this is the first teaser for White Day 2, The Flower That Tells Lies. Assuming the guy survived, he decided to go back.
화이트데이 2. 거짓말하는 꽃.
I don't like it. I don't wanna click on the next one. This is the second teaser. By the way, White Day is on Tuesday, March 14th. Great! Great. Fantastic. How appropriate that we're checking it out now. It is March 13th on the day of this recording, by the way, for those that might be curious, since I believe this will go up on like Friday the 17th. If you ever wanted a good reason to not go to school, Get out of here. What's with all of you in the billy clubs? Nah, hard pass, buddy. You can just stay the fuck over there. You don't need to. We don't need to talk. Okay, so this is the third teaser, and this is from a month ago on January. Well, 2 months ago on January 15th. It's at the same freaking school. Is this like a direct sequel? Like the dude survived and then the school got like quarantined off and now people are sneaking inside? Don't do that.
사실을 안다는 게 두려운 거 아니고? 누가 결계를 부수고 있어.
조심해. 걔 살인자야.
No.
세상에서 가장 끔찍하고 고통스럽게 죽었으면 좋겠어. 네가.
Oh, you were horrifying looking. Also, what is it about like freaking like ladies in dresses with giant fucking scissors that's so scary as shit? Like nice dresses, right? Like I remember in freaking Ghostwire Tokyo, one of the enemies looked like that and they were the scariest freaking shit. Anyway, so here's the episode 1 trailer from February 15th. This is when it was basically shadow dropped.
어떻게 좀 해봐. 여기 뭔가 있는 것 같아. 너 나한테 숨기는 거 있지? 난 못 본 걸로 해줘.
Those were arms.
이제 돌이킬 수 없어.
No. That was a lot of arms. All right. So, if you need to know, White Day, the first one, is currently available on Steam and other platforms, but it is $30. But at the time that this video went up, the Steam Spring Sale has started, so it actually might be cheaper right now if that looked like something that you're interested in. White Day 2 is not actually fully complete yet. Only episode 1 is out. It might have been a funding thing or something like that, but you can get episode 1 for $20. I don't know if episode 2 will have a separate purchase. Apparently, White Day 2 has a pretty negative review score right now. 32% positive reviews out of 300 reviews. So I'm not sure what the issue might be. Sometimes when it's that harsh of a negative review, it can be like performance issues. There's somebody that reviewed it at 30 hours that gave a thumbs up on it, but I see a thumbs down with only 1 hour played. So thumbs up with 11 hours, thumbs down at 0.7 hours. So who knows? Some people just saying that the game is very bad. There's only 1 chapter of content. Well, they tell you that in the title. Like, it says episode 1. Anyway, not here to judge other people's reviews, just to give you that a bit of information. So that is White Day and White Day 2. The first one is complete and looks absolutely horrifying. I still don't feel like there's actually very much marketing for the second one, but that's probably because they just don't actually have the whole game complete and they only have episode 1 finished. So if those are something that you're interested in, there you go. I'm not much of a horror game game person, but if you are, maybe add that to the list. I don't know if that might have made it onto your backlog yet, but there's another option available for you. That game looks horrifying, and I don't like the look of it whatsoever. I don't like the look of it because it looks good, by the way, not because I think the game looks crap. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. If you played the first one, or if you've already played White Day 2, I'd love to hear from you. How your experience has been. Put those down in the comments below. If you want to keep your conversation going elsewhere, 2 great places to do so are Discord on Twitter. And we have a Discord dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream, because we stream on Twitch, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. If you watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy. All right, and that is one production day complete, everybody. We all done here. OBS didn't crash yet. Let me double check, make sure that actually is everything. Mile High Taxi, Mortal Sin, Bayonetta, Peppa Pig, White Day, JRPGs, and the Wanted Dead review. Yes, that is everything. All right. Alrighty then, let's go take a look and see who's streaming at 1:30 Alaska time in the morning. 2:30 a.m. the rest of the world time. Star's online. Star's online playing some Fortnite. It is late, Star. Let me check the Stream Raiders and Nitro Stream Racing categories real quick, but we'll probably go hang out with Star, because I still have to do some editing. Stream Raiders. I see me. The Real Esquire, thankfully, is actually playing Nitro. I appreciate you. Looks like most people are actually playing Nitro. That's great. There was a whole bunch of people in the category earlier that were not playing Stream Raiders or any Captain TV property, and I was a bit disappointed by that. What are you playing? Dead Space. Okay. All right, we'll go hang out with Star. Or would you tempt OBS like that? Just keeping it real, you know, really real. Remember, it was good for like 6 hours. Yeah, I'm hoping that like the graphics driver needed updated for the GPU, so I'm hoping that might have been what it is. But either way, all right, these are my socials, everybody. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm really active on Twitter, so it's a great place to just chat with me if you want to do so. I'm also I keep a close eye on the Discord as well, so if you want to chat in Discord, great place to do so. We can talk about games that have come out, anime, politics, whatever. If you want to break down some more stuff about like the JRPG stuff that we talked about, let's do it. Yeah, so that's going to be the best place. On Tuesday is when we'll be back, and we are going to be playing more Resident Evil 3. We'll probably beat it on Tuesday, so I don't know what we're doing on Thursday. But why do I feel like I'm missing something? I don't know. This is the raid message, though. If you want to put in that raid command, that raid message when we go raid Star Vixen, if you don't have that raid swan, you can unlock it for 100 channel points. It'll be available to you for the next 24 hours, including on the raid. You can use it on other people's channels, so it's a really easy way if you're not a subscriber, because I don't want to be like, yo, give me $5 so you can use the raid command. Just use 100 channel points, and then you're good to go, and you have that raid message. And so we're going to go raid Star Vixen. I will be back on Tuesday. Thank you so much, everyone who popped in and hung out. Thank you to Roman Edge for the raid. I appreciate all you very, very much. And I will see you on Tuesday. Bye. Holy shit, Twitch. You're actually taking most of the freaking chat. You're taking all of them. It's amazing. I don't believe it. At least according to Twitch, it says they're all in here. All right. Night, Prinny.